In this tutorial, I will show you how to create a minimal title opener like this in After Effects. Please head over to the tutorial to learn a little bit about keyframes and about track matting in After Effects. Holy moly, After Effects just updated to 2017. Now, apart from some minor graphical changes, this update is mostly about character animation and working with your team. So you can share the project you are working on online, you can sync it, you can share it with the team, and they can also put some input into it. These are the major changes that After Effects CC 2017 brings. Now, let's create something. I want to show you how to create a minimal title with some text which will reveal behind the box. So let me start by clicking the text box and select presented by. Haha, let's make it white. Let's make it white like that. Presented by. I'll Control D. I'll shift it to the right side. This guy. Ha ha ha, how funny I am today. Okay, presented by this guy. We have this text. I will make this guy a bit darker. Now let's select a rectangle tool. Of course you want a red one, but if you somehow feel that you don't want a red one, I will not blame you. Okay, this is the red one. Let's make it something like this. Okay, fancy. And now let's work with the track matting. You want a really simple animation on this. At first, I want this shape to be at least a little bit animated because it's way too boring like that. I'll press Y on my keyboard and I'll place the anchor point in the middle. If you have After Effects CC, you can also Control, Alt, left Control and left Alt, and Home, and it will automatically snap in the middle. Okay, what do we want to do here? You can do anything from the transform options or from the rectangle path. I'll maybe work with the size, no problem. Let me unlink it. I'll place a keyframe here. This will be like the last keyframe, and on the beginning it should be 0 and 0. And now, depending, if you want a simple animation, just make it like that. If you want to be more fancy, just play around, make it like that, boom. Okay, what do we achieve here? Super boring, but you can make it a tiny bit better by right-clicking, clicking on Keyframe Assistant and easing the keyframes. Now I'll select the keyframes. Oh boy, this is a lot of keyframes. Let me get closer here. To the right. And if you can't snap to the green ones, just select value graph. Now once you see the value graph, you can also select the green ones, make them a bit longer, then again here. Okay, I think this is enough. This is our first stupid animation. So you have two text boxes and you have an animation like that. Like it appears. Now I'll duplicate this because this will be the track mat for this guy. You can even call it, by pressing on enter, you can also call it this guy's track mat or something like this. Select this guy, and by selecting the track mat, select alpha mat, this guy's track mat. Now what will happen, it will reveal the text once the text will be visible. You can make it a bit more fancy by selecting P on the text, clicking on position, placing this keyframe later, and starting with a different value. So this would be my initial animation. Okay? You should make this animation definitely a bit more fancy. Again, by right-clicking on the keyframe, Keyframe Assistant, Easy Ease, go into the graph editor and just have a little bit of fun with the keyframes. I want to select only the position. Let me go back to the speed graph because I prefer it like that. Boom, boom, and you have a little fancy animation. It comes in and it will be visible because we have this track mat. This track mat makes it visible. Now we will work with the second text, and the second text should have the same animation. So I'll also click on position, I'll place it forward, then I'll work a bit with the position. You do the same, you right click, you keyframe assist, you easy ease, you go into the graph editor and you work a little bit around with this. Now this would be my initial animation. Boom, boom, and they both float into the screen. But you still need to make this one disappear at first. So I want it to be invisible once it's here. How to do this? Very, very simple. Just select a rectangle, just create any rectangle and make the rectangle like that. Don't mind anything, just this place should be somewhat equal and this shape layer should be above the second text. Will it be? Yes, it will, because I'll even call it presented by mask. This will be easier for me to see. If you want to distinguish between layers, text, shape layers, you can change their colors. Let's say that peach layers will be masks. Now I see everything better. Now hit on presented by, and on the track matte select alpha inverted matte, because this time I want it to be invisible here, but visible outside this one. Now let's preview what do we have. We have an animation like that. Above this object which we created, above this mask, it starts to become visible. And this is basically the animation that I wanted to teach you here. Now you can go a bit more crazy with the keyframes, of course, that's completely up to you, but in terms of alpha matting and track matting, that's the best way to do such animations. If you don't see track matte, you can always right click, columns, you have parent, switches, modes, this is of course modes. You can right click columns, modes like that, or you can use the middle button here. The middle button is for blending modes and track mattes. Now let's preview what animation did we create in this tutorial. Space. Exactly, and you have a very simple opener made in After Effects with a few mouse clicks and a few track mattes. It's really simple and it's really effective, and it looks cool because the text floats in together. You can of course take the second text, for example the presented by, and place it a bit later, because I personally think that this second text should appear a bit later than this. Okay? Boom, boom. I really hope you did like this tutorial and will use this in your daily work. Thanks for your attention and see you in the next tutorials.